Tuesday, October 7th, and I haven't been around for a while. I want to talk to you about where I've been. In the beginning of August, some of you might know this, my son, 22 years old, decided that he wanted to move to Alaska, so I helped him. I drove with him up to Alaska, flew back, had all sorts of stuff happen in August, markets and group readings, lots of things, very busy. Then come into September, and my son has decided he wants to move back home, which is wonderful, which is great. Great to have him back. Great for him to have that experience of moving to Alaska, figuring out it wasn't what he wanted, and then coming home. But let me tell you about what's gone on since the middle of September. So basically, group readings, live events. I had a run of 3 days of live events in the end of September. Immediately got off of those, had a goblin market here at Deep Earth Arts, where we're located in Littleton, New Hampshire. A couple days after that, I go back to Alaska. I fly to Anchorage and then drive 6 days back to Vermont with my son. A couple days after that, Isaac, my husband, and I celebrate our 15th wedding anniversary by hosting a vow renewal ceremony. That we began planning in the beginning of the year. We had no idea it would land on such a whirling dervish part of our lives right now, and ultimately I am very exhausted. I'm very, very tired. I'm still doing my live events, I'm still doing readings, I'm still connecting with people, but I am very much trying to get my feet underneath me in all the ways that matter. The last time I did a live video on here, a very dear person reached out to me and was like, "You look like shit." And I did. I was tired. I had a little bit of a sickness. She was right. And I'm still trying to get my feet underneath me. Recently, my therapist diagnosed me with official burnout with a capital B, as well as adult stage ADHD. I have some neurodivergencies that have cropped up because I have worn myself so thin. I share that with everybody because I take what I do here, connecting with folks online, very seriously. I've had a lot of people ask me about where my tarot messages have gone. What do I do with them? Like, where can they find them? And I'm just like, it's hard for me to say. I'm way too tired. I'm way too burnt out. But I want to say that because one of the things that there's a tendency to do for anybody who's a public figure, whether they have a couple of people watching them or thousands of people or millions of people watching them, they have a tendency not to share their vulnerability and the hard things that they go through. So I want to make sure, I'm here. You might not have ever heard of me before. You might have followed me for years. Either way, I want to tell people what's going on in my life, so maybe they can understand where I'm at, sure, but maybe they can also find a little bit of kindness and compassion for themselves, because we're all dealing with a lot, whether you have families or businesses or workplaces. What's going on with our world around us is a lot. Politically in the United States, we're going through a lot. So I think mental health is very, very important. I think it's more important than any of us could ever imagine, especially in a world where we have devices like this and we have social media and connection and data coming to us and information coming to us so quickly all the time. One of the parts of this process for me, as vulnerable as I am to talk to people and go, like, officially burnt out with a capital B, got lots of things going on. I have some things that are like cropping up, mental stuff cropping up that has kind of slipped through the cracks for years. And looking at those diagnoses as superpowers, not disabilities. I hope that when I share this with you, I can offer some relation to you. I hope that you can relate to me, my struggles, and all of the things that I do, and all of the ways that I want to help people, take care of my family, do all of those things. It's been a lot. So, if you're struggling yourself, keeping up, taking care of yourself, it got to the point for me where the items on my self-care list became something that was contributing to my, like, oh my God, I got so much stuff to do. I gotta like get to the gym. I gotta do this. I can't really do that anymore. So I'm really slicing and dicing and refining what works for me and what doesn't. With that being said, I want to offer a message from Spirit today. Update long overdue about where I'm at, what's going on with me. And being that it's October 7th, I want to use the Halloween Tarot to pull a little card and give us all a little bit of a message. So remember that when I pull these cards, they're a message for me, but they're also a message for you. Like, I'm doing this for you, but I'm also getting the information and the message that we need right now for all of us, including myself. So a couple of more shuffles, and we'll get right into it here. Here we are. The card that we need is the Page of Bats. And for the Halloween Tarot, this is the Swords. So what we have here is the Page, which is a youthful spirit. It is a messenger. Bats in tarot represent air or swords in this version of tarot. So what we have here is the childlike beginner, the playful messenger of the mind, of swords and communication. This right here, this card, the Page of Swords, always reminds me that if we don't use a sword with skill and grace, we're going to hurt ourselves or others. If we don't use our mind with skill and grace, we're going to hurt ourselves and others. So let's take a little bit of my story here. I've always been a very hard worker, an entrepreneur since 2013. 12 years of working for myself. It's been a lot. And I have to use the mind with skill, with grace, or I find myself overwhelmed. So I am just working hard, doing everything that I can within the boundaries of my resources, my own personal resources. But when things fall apart, as they're going to do, none of us are perfect. We're all struggling humans, and we're all figuring out a lot of things as we go. As we're doing that, we have to use our mind with grace and skill. So for instance, right now, with me being in a place of burnout, and actively seeking what I can do to kind of refill my cup, I could be an asshole to myself. I could be talking to myself about, oh, you're weak, you're this, you're that, you're lazy, you can't get out of your own way, you know, pull your big girl panties up, pull your bootstraps up, those types of things. But that tough it out attitude only makes it worse. So I'm trying not to beat myself up. I'm trying to move myself forward from a place of love. And that is using my mind with strength, with grace. Because if you don't use a sword, well, you're going to hurt yourself or others. You don't use your mind well, you're going to hurt yourself and others. I want to encourage you that if you are feeling like you are, you know, having a hard go of things, it makes all the sense in the world, but we should not make things worse on ourselves by lacking kindness in the way that we talk to ourselves. These things that are troubling for me and struggling, like I struggle with, I want to make sure that folks know that they at least have somebody in this world struggling as well. But we can lighten the burdens of what we're dealing with if we can use our mind with skill. A big part of my process right now is like, even though I'm feeling overwhelmed, I can get to this place of like, oh, I have to do this. Where I'm very much turning that sword around in my mind and going, I get to do this. I don't have to do this. I get to do this. So reframing that perspective, it's like doing laundry at home. I don't have to do laundry at home. I get to do laundry at home. That's using the sword of our mind with skill. So if you're struggling, I encourage you to look at things through a different lens and to perhaps make sure that things aren't necessarily too heavy. I have rambled on for almost 10 minutes. Thank you for being here. This is crazy. I didn't expect this video to be this long. I do hope to bring these shorter videos on a more consistent basis. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your love. Thank you for being here.